Hey, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Mira. Good to see you today. Today's subject is really exciting one, budget makeover. Before I get started, I want to start with something funny, and which is, what did the pen say to the pencil? Now go and write it down the answer, what you think of it, and let me know in the comment section. I'll talk to you about the answer in the middle of the video or at the end of the video. So this subject sounds like pretty intimidating to some people, so I don't want you to be intimidated or overwhelmed. I want you to take it easy. So go get water, a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea. So when you get all of those, let's have a relaxed mind, and I want to ask you a few questions first before you start it. So before we got into our life straightened out, like this budget straightened out, we want to make sure that our mind is ready, right? Not just only physical, also mental too. So make sure that we are confident in what we're gonna do, and also we believe in ourselves, and make sure that we also gonna have a hopeful that we're gonna believe in what kind of result we want to come up with. And most important thing, we need to have a big dream. So now, since we all have our mind set it up for that, analyze the current financial situation. So make sure that you know you have a bill statement, or you have a receipt that monthly coming into you, or do you have an online statement, which I do mostly. So go and look at it online or on the paper, or if you do not know, call the 1-800 number or this 1-866 number if you're in the United States. But if you're in different countries, and go ahead and figure it out. What is your monthly bills? Like if you are missing, or if you're doing auto payment, then go and check it out, your banking statement. And that is your expense. Income area is, what is your income? What are you making every month? Are you earning with earned income, which is like you're exchanging with your time, right? You're working for 9 to 5, or you're working for yourself, or whatever that you're making money out of it, or what interest earning, or what dividends earning, all the income that you're making, right? You have a renting property, whatever that you're earning, just go ahead and write it down. You could use it. I'll tell you more about it in the later section. So go ahead and have those information ready for yourself. So it's like pretty much like, like when you have like for example, I'm gonna use myself, like since on the video right here, without going too far around the house, so let's say I have a messy hair, for example, then I might look like, okay, well, the hair is super messy, what are we gonna do about it? So it's like a messy current situation, like what is going on with your income. Now that we know what is the current situation, we need to make sure that we absolutely have to have a goals. Like out of I'm gonna tell you 7 steps, right? Out of 7 steps, number 1 and number 2 and number 7 are my most favorite things. Those are the reason that I'm here where I am today. That I recently paid all the major student loans debt to the NEL-NET, the government loans. So I'm so grateful that I was able to stick with the rules and process and discipline that I set up for myself. And so I want to mimic on that. If you can mimic on that, those are the things I'm about to tell you about it. What I mean is like short-term goals and middle terms and long-term goals and lifetime goals and weekly goals, or it could be daily goal. I have a daily goals, and I have a weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, yearly goals, and lifetime goals. I know it's like so many goals, but I think that keep our life really excited. Like for example, I'm just going back to my hair situations. So for example, the hair is kind of messy, and then I was like, okay, I want to do something about it. So I already analyzed my hair, and then I have a goal. I want to keep my hair a little bit straighter, right? Maybe I'll use something to make my hair straighter. So at least I have some goal that I kind of figured out my goals, ideas. And when you have a goal, go ahead and write it down on the piece of paper, not in your mind. Write it down on the put it on the paper and stick it on the wall, or put it on the refrigerator, or put it in the bathroom, wherever you want to see yourself every day, or put it on the TV by yourself. So whenever you watch TV, you say, well, there's my goal, I have to finish it out. So number 3 is the tools. It's extremely important. 2 is it's like a bridge that you needed something to go from one place to another, right? For example, when I was doing my I was messy hair and plain Jane face, and I want to put something makeup on it. Today, I think you can see that I put some makeup on it. So let's say, for example, it's like a tool, you can use a calculator, to do the, numbers and plus, minus, and multiplication, divisions. Or you can need piece of pen and paper, right here. I write note every day. For example, you need a tool like brush, just like this. Right? You need something that you're gonna work on it to make from one thing to another, right? So you're transforming from your messy hair to the better hair. you are changing from messy finance into a better finance, right? So now that we have a tools, you can use a computer, you can use the Excel sheet, you can use the Dave Ramsey app, whatever thing that you want to create with, stick with something. If it doesn't work, then change it. But don't just one thing and change it to quickly something really fast. Then you wouldn't know which one is working and not working. So as we are talking about the budget makeover, one of the most important thing is cut the expenses, right? I'm not saying that you never can go out. I make a few videos. One of the video is uncommon ways we save money. Another one is how I save over 12,000. So I think it's all the things, the tips and tricks that I give it to you. So go ahead and watch them. They're kind of fun and funky and kind of motivating, so that way you can keep going your daily life. I will have this too, just because this brush that I have it over here and I like it so much, which is great, right? I only need one, right? I don't need 10 of those. Just because it's on sale, or just because it's so many cheap price, I'm not just going and buy so many things. It will declutter my house and I will end up spending more money. So my point is that cutting the expenses doesn't mean buying low prices. Cutting the expenses means cutting the expensive. Cutting the expenses means you do not go and buy more. Another way to cut the expenses is that go ahead and write it down. When you're analyzing those numbers on the number one level, you're gonna know what is your expenses, what are they? If you haven't know what is your expenses, I make a simple video, backward budgeting. Go and check it out. I'll link around here over there for you. It's pretty simple budgeting. You don't have to know so much complicated Excel sheet or so many apps. It's just so simple that it has a one liner, one column. You just bang 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 and boom. It's just pretty much you got everything you need. And I always teach you how to do this budgeting, kind of smart, kind of a little bit wisely, and twist all around it. So go and check it out, that video. I hope that also help you too. Cutting the expenses, instead of going out to eat every weekend or every 2 or 3 times during the day, you can cut it up into 1 or maybe 2. So reduce it into half. So it will definitely gonna help you. Number 5 is increase the income. Increase the income mean for example, in the past, I have this side job. It's called language translations. I was doing as a broker job, U.S. custom license broker job. I was doing the import exporting things. And I was doing a translating job on the side, on the weekend or in the evening or on my holiday or on my vacations. I'll do that 1 hour. I'll do that 2 hours. I'll do that 3 hours. Whenever I have time for it. So sometimes side income becoming the main income. Now I'm running the company, doing contracts with other different organizations, hospitals and banking and all this stuff, which is definitely gonna help. I translate Burmese to English and English to Burmese myself. My company is called Enterprise Level Languages. If you need any help, let me know as well on that channel, on the area. My point is right now, if you're doing as a nurse or if you're doing as a 9-to-5 job, corporate job, you can do something that you are good at it, something that's easy for you, something that you're passionate about it. When you're doing that, one day, who knows, that will be your main jobs and your company too. And just because of my income increase, just because of your income increase, we don't have to go and buy 1,000 or more of those. I think to me it's one is pretty much enough. If you want to have a backup, you can have 2. I think that's pretty fair enough. So budget makeover or any makeover, it won't be done a one switch thing. You cannot just press one thing, it will be voila, everything changed. It won't happen like this. So weekly, monthly, we have to keep reviewing things, keep maintaining our beauty or our whatever that you want to keep up with yourself. Keep reviewing your numbers, or keep reviewing your self-care, or keep reviewing your house maintenance, or whatever it is you are doing it. Make sure that you keep reviewing it. In this video, we're talking about the money. So make sure that you review that. I review daily, I review weekly, I review monthly. As I say, I'm kind of a little bit nerdy on this area. Because, when I was studying the U.S. Licensed Custom Broker exam, which is a very tough exam that if you're aware of it or not, go and research it. Only 2% of Americans pass this exam. And then it depends on the year. Some year a little bit more, some year a little bit less. So when I was studying that exam, again, I was born in Burma, so the language is already a challenge for me already. The English languages, and then when you add it on the legal languages, it's another levels. And when I studied that, I kind of sometimes I want to pull my hair, sometimes I wanted to cry, sometimes I don't know, sometimes I got lost. All these things that one wise man told me this. He said this, Mira, if you really want to get this one done, you really want to make love with this, The which means that you really need to in love with this, whatever you're doing, right? If you'll be really good at it. So I decided that, you know what, instead of complaining and instead of being sad about it, instead of feeling like I lost myself, and I teach myself, you know what, this is only me and myself, and these books and this exam, I'm gonna make it happen. And that's when I started like pushing through it, like pushing through it, like instead of just like, all the muds, when you do the finance, it's just so, it can be so complicated if you want to make it, right? But if you want to make it simple, it can be simple too. You don't have to feel lost. You don't have to feel scared. You just like, just, I'm going to understand it. I'm going to do it. At the end of the day, it is plus, minus, multiplication, and subtraction. And then number 7 is like, as I say, number 7 extremely important, which is the allocation. Allocate, allocate, allocate. The reason why allocation is important, why is it important? What does it matter? As long as I have money in the bank account, what does it matter? It does matter. Some people call it sinking fund, some people call it saving account, some people call it differently, envelope saving system, whatever you call it. I just call it allocate. You just have to learn how to allocate your money. So for example, imagine that there is a tunnel, right? The money coming in to you, however shapes and form is coming in, right? That is your money, right? You need to make sure where to put it in, because money coming in, it's gonna go out somewhere, right? So before it go out, you need to make sure you tuck it in wherever it need to be tucked in. For example, tunnel is coming down, there's a middle, right? You want to keep it in. What are we gonna keep it in? I'll make a video more about it. I already make a video. I think I'm gonna link it here if I still have it. If not, then I will just put it at some point. I'll put it back here for you. Allocation is like pretty much like you need to make sure that are you gonna put it on the saving account, or are you gonna put it in the investment? Are you gonna put it in the emergency fund? Are you gonna pay your more debt? It's just like pretty much like you're gonna pay, or are you gonna pay your debt? It's pretty much like you're gonna allocate them. So are you ready for the answer? So the question I want to remind you, what did that pen say to the pencil today? Answer is, you sure look sharp today. And I really agree with you. You surely look sharp today. So go ahead and take care of your budget makeover, and it's extremely fun. I can't wait to hear from you that how great job you did.